Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Matt from Diazable, and I'm coming at you with another album review. And today we're checking out the album Little Green House from the band Ba 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 Anxious. That is right. A little bit about Anxious is they are I want to say, emo pop punk infused band with really, really hardcore ethics and like DIY style like vibes. For the most part, anyone who knows about Anxious knows that they are a hardcore band, but not a hardcore band, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is their debut album. It came out in 2022, Little Greenhouse. They've been putting out in a lot of work. They've been putting in a lot of work in terms of touring and promoting because they've gone on tour with bands like Drug Church. I think they played the Half Heart reunion show. Who else? One Step. They played with One Step Closer, Fiddlehead. They've been around the block, and they played like event like Outbreak Fest and what was it? Sound and Fury. And recently they just came here to Korea and did an Asia tour, and they've been putting in a lot of work. And I think it's really starting to show and pay off because they're having a lot of huge numbers on streaming services and whatnot, and they just have a very, very infectious vibe to them when you listen to them, especially with the emo style with like fun pop punk vibes to it, with a little bit of like some bumping and grinding with that hardcoreness. So if you like sad lyrics but with an upbeat sound to it, I think you'll like this album and everything. So with that out the way, let's dissect and check this album out a little bit. The first song we have here is Your One Way Street. It's a high energy opening song with catchy and like fast paced riffs and fun upbeat percussions. One thing that caught me off guard was there were some harsh vocals, aka screams, in the song, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, at least, and especially wasn't expecting it so early on with the album. But nonetheless, it still sounds pretty good. But I will say how they're playing on this song, it does seem a little like they're straining themselves in terms of vocal and performance. Like they're pushing themselves really hard, so it's causing some like harsh sounds from the vocals and some of the instruments at times. But I think it really works with this angsty style of music that they're making. The lyrics are very solid. The vocal performance throughout is pretty good. It's a great opening. Hey guys, next we have the song In April. It has some like weird, I guess, reverby echo effects on the vocals. The song is a little bit more upbeat and catchy in terms of the beat. The lyrics are very cute because they talk about like a relationship and everything. So they're kind of like cute, lovey-dovey kind of lyrics. Towards the end of the song, there's like a nice build up that really builds upon itself to like, I keep saying build, but like it's a pretty upbeat song and everything, but then they slow it down and then build it back up towards the end, and it just really like takes off at the end of the song. And so like I think that makes it a really nice, fun song to listen to. And the lyrics are really easy to learn and like sing along to with. Next we have the song Growing Up song. I noticed that the guitars on this song were really mic'd up really loud. So at times, especially at the beginning, it was really hard to hear the vocals because the guitars were like overpowering. And also, I think as well, his vocals were really low in the mix, so that made it even harder to hear. But the backing vocals on this track sound really good. They sound perfectly like mic'd up and everything. The guitar work on here is a little bit repetitive and kind of gets old kind of fast, like the riffs they use. Um, the vocals definitely sound much better in the second half of the song. And I think also the song kind of overstates its welcome a little bit. It's a little drawn out. But I think what really helps save the song is the vocal performance in the second half of the song. Then we have More Than a Letter. The guitars have like a weird hollow sound to it, and it's like a cool like effect to it, I think. Also the percussion with that hollow sound, the percussions are a little bit more softer on this song. And the one thing I really noticed too was the bass was heard loud and clear, very nice, good sounding bass. Overall, with the mix of the instruments and the vocal performance and the production, it's a very solid song. and it has the lyrics are really sweet because they're kind of like talking about moving on from a relationship, which I don't know if that is true or not what the song was about, but that's what my interpretation of it was. And it was really sweet and well. Wayne, which is a nice little acoustic track, which I wasn't expecting. I think it's a good placement for the song because it breaks up some of the tension in the album with some of the more popular and like hard rocking sounding songs. So this is a nice calm down in the middle of the album, so it adds some nice variety. Um, the vocal performance is really good, especially with like the haunting vocals in the background of the song. It's a very, very well made. Moving along, we have the song Speechless, and we're kind of going from like that acoustic soft sound to more of like a high energy with some harsh, like screaming vocals too. So it's like a complete 180. And the vocals here with the harsh screaming and everything, I feel like there's a lot of anguish like lingering in their vocals. Like there's a lot of pain, I think, with this song a little bit. The mixing on the song is very loud for sure. Um, but there are moments where they have like where they ease it here and there, but it is very turned up at times. And I feel like it's not as catchy as a song, but the rawness of the song, there's a lot of feeling to it that makes you want to listen to it again. Like it's not like a catchy, like, hey, it stuck in my head like earworm, but it's just like you really listen to it and you digest and you're like, oh, this is a deep ass song. Uh there's some nice drum fills that help let the song breathe towards the end of the song, which were really nice touches, I thought. And so yeah, that's what I think about the song Speech. Next we have the song Let Me In. And I think the one thing I noticed about this song was the percussions and the drums had a lot of there was, I don't say dynamic, but there was a lot of variety here, and they were just really noticeable with the faster and groovier sound of the song. But the drums, they just sound really cool, especially when there's a part where it goes like back and forth between the headphones and stuff. It's very clear, very tight, and the drums are just very exciting to listen to here. Also, there's a lot of mix of like screams and singing, so there's a lot of back and forth on this song. So very, very, very fun song to listen to. I forgot to add, but I wanted to play a clip of the song Let Me. So here's a small clip of Let Me. Those backing vocals, I didn't notice them before, but they sound really, really good here. If you guys know anything about Anxious, the next song I need to talk about doesn't need an introduction at all because it's like their hottest song, and that is Call From You. And I didn't realize, but listening to the album, the previous song leads right into this song. And it's crazy how like that transition is so smooth. It's like butter, baby. The vocals are perfectly mixed here and hit the right pitches throughout the song. The tempo is perfectly upbeat and intense, especially at the opening drumming and the beginning, right, with like just the fun grooviness. Guitars are mixed really well. The drums are on fire and they just sound so good here. Like, like the drumming's on point here. The drummer's killing it here. Bass is very low in the mix, but it adds to the overall feel of the song. You don't hear the bass as much, but it's there, but it's like chilling and it's very nice. And the way the song ends makes you just want to listen to it again, like because it kind of just cuts off. And I didn't realize it just cut off because I would always listen to it over and over. And then I was listening to it with the lyrics. They literally cut it off. And for some reason, it just makes me want to go right back in. I would play a clip for this song, but like it's so popular, I don't want to. You should check it out, but it's definitely like, oh. Next song we have here is Afternoon, and then like the previous song Call For You ends, and then it just smoothly transitions into the song Afternoon. The guitars are a little bit more pulled back, and like the song's a little bit slower, but it's got a good intensity to it, and it's a nice switch up with the girl vocals that they brought in here, and it was just like there's a lot of like variety, and like they're playing a lot of with their strong elements here, I think. You When You're Gone, it has a very, very, very slow build up to a weird like spacey sound, and then it comes in with some soft female vocals. I get like heavy, like they're trying to like pull back on the pop punk and emo, more emo. They're trying to go more emo indie sound with this song, and it just hits all the right feelings. And they mix the female and the male vocals very well throughout this song. the dynamic between the two vocals are they really complement each other in this song. The sad and the sad lyrics kind of like slowly and swell like and build up the song very well. It adds some weight to the song because it's like clearly a heavy sounding song in terms of lyrics and content. I don't know, I had that switched around. Also the guitars sound really good here. I keep wanting to say they have like a stringy, like they don't sound as heavy. They sound very light guitar work and everything. Like it's a great way to end the album with all the high energy they had before, and they just bring it down and like taper it out with this really good song, which I want to play a little clip of right now because it's a pretty good song. Great song, guys. And yeah, that was my review of the album Little Green House from the band Anxious. Overall, I think these guys know how to really like mix different genres together in terms of like emo, pop punk, indie, and hardcore, which I think is a really hard thing to do because all the songs, for the most part, we have acoustic songs, we have pop punk sounding songs with really good hardcore like mosh parts to it, soft indie songs and everything. They know how to balance everything out really well, and it doesn't feel, for the most part, like overly produced or like try hardy. It just, everything blends really well. And like I think in terms of the instruments too, I think the drums are probably the most standout thing in terms of like the technical use they have for the drums and the drummer's feeling style. Like his drums are solid, and just like what he adds, like the way he spices up his drumming sounds really good. And then I would say the next thing I would say that's very standout is the vocal, in terms of like, okay, vocals, but lyrics. The lyrics are really good, very, very, very deep and meaningful content in terms of like relationships, growing up, and like pain, and just like going through life at a young age and everything, and kind of like a coming of age album. I think there's a lot of good topics touched on, and they're well written. They're not as so like given to you. You have to really kind of think about it. So that's really nice. The guitar and the bass work and everything's pretty good, and everything very fun, catchy riffs throughout the album. The production, for the most part, except for some parts here and there, is a little like, I think, I'll say overproduced, but they just mic things up a little bit too much. The mix was just too loud at times, so it drowned out some of the other instruments and vocal performance. And I think another thing that might have hindered a little bit of it, some songs seem to be a little bit too long-winded at times. Like they overstay their, well, I say overstay their welcome, but that was like one song. But some songs, I think they could have been shortened a little bit, and then they would have been a little bit tighter. They're just a little bit long, so they felt a little bit loosey-goosey, but not necessarily a super, super bad thing. It's just my own personal critique, I think. And so, with that being said, and that score is 8.5 out of 10. Very solid album from the guys out in Anxious from Connecticut. Good job. I'm Matt from Diazable. Thanks for checking out my review and checking out my channel. Please check out Anxious. Their links are down below. Support local bands around the world. And thanks for coming on by. Until next time, guys, you have a great day. Bye.